All right, here we are, day 19. Yes, it is. And this is an interesting day that we're going to be learning about self-care again. Now, if you watched the video yesterday, we did a lot of interaction, right? And we learned about taking care of our skin and how to walk properly. Today's video is going to be about self-care as well, but on a different level, all right? So if this is your first time, stick around. My name is Shena Major, and I help people heal from toxic, unhealthy relationships that just aren't serving you, and you need a little nudge to help you move forward towards your calling, okay? So with that said, let's get started. Now, how am I going to start sharing this? I've had quite the morning. Yes, I have. I've had quite the morning, and all things are fitting together with this morning. Based on what I read in my word this morning, and just the thoughts I've had, and how I spent the time out of the house, and something else I heard, and then what I wanted to make a video about for this day of our challenge. So with that said, we're going to be talking about self-care and prayer. Now, I want to say some of you may not be believers or Christians or have a strong faith, or some might say religion, all right? But I want you to have your ears open to hear what I'm saying, because it's very real and it's very true. Now, about a year ago, I did, I think I said in the video yesterday, a mentorship, and we were encouraged to get a prayer closet going. And I did that, and it was wonderful. And in that prayer closet, I talked about wanting to be able to write a book, and it came to pass, okay? And then some other things that I prayed about, like starting group coaching, and that came to pass. So prayer is key in your healing process. Now let's go back, because a lot of the things that have gone on in your life that determine the decisions you make today were based on your childhood. We are born and we don't get a choice who our parents are when we get on this earth. We just are here. Okay, we don't get to decide how people are going to treat us. When you're a baby, you can't stop crying and screaming and say, and by the way, I want you to be kind to me. I don't want you to hurt me. I don't want you to, treat me bad. I don't want you to neglect me. I don't want you to abandon me. We can't say that. We don't get a choice on how we're parented or how people are going to treat us as we're growing up as little children. We are trusting, and we trust that the people who are in our life to raise us are going to nurture us and care for us and protect us. And for some of us, that hasn't happened. And that's why you're on this channel, right? Because you're growing and you want to heal. And now that you are an adult, we have to learn how to break away from the past and the circumstances we were born into, and recognize, okay, I have to decide now to not stay stuck in my story, but to move forward towards my destiny. Yes, things happen, but I'm going to leave them behind in order to fulfill the calling on my life, whatever that may be. So we must try to, how can I say it sensitively? I don't want to say what happened to you doesn't matter, because it does, and you matter, and you're important, and I say that a lot, and it's true. But we have to start to not be so caught up in our emotions, but we need to work out of our spirit. So when we work out of our spirit, we're aligning ourselves with God. Now, remember I said in the beginning, you might not know him, but this is important, because the fact that you're here on this earth is because of him, right? Now, you might not want to take that in and believe that, but just stay with me. So the reason why self-care is prayer is because it draws us back to who we really are, because we really are a spirit. We're born of the spirit. God is a spirit. He created you, and he got you here on this earth, and he lives in us, okay? So when you pray, you're talking to God. Now, I'm very big on journaling. I believe in journaling. Okay, I praise God. I believe in journaling. Journaling is a way for you to get out what is inside of you. And some people don't like to pray. Okay, so stay with me. Some people don't know how to pray. They don't feel comfortable praying. So we can journal. And journaling is a form of prayer in a way, because you're writing down what's in your heart. And that's the same thing you do when you talk to God. You're praying to him what's in your heart. So the more you write and you have that head-to-heart connection, you're getting out things that are stuck deep down in you that you bury. Now remember I said earlier that my morning was very good. It was very interesting, and a lot of things have intertwined together. And part of my morning I was listening to a message by T.D. Jakes, and it was entitled, let me get it right, Tomorrow Belongs to God. And I'll link that for you to watch. Tomorrow Belongs to God. And he was talking about this, how journaling and prayer really can go hand in hand, because it's a way of expression. Now there might be some of you who don't like to pray and you don't like to journal. Okay, you got to break through that wall. You got to break through that wall, okay? And you just have to decide that you're going to do one or the other. All right, because when you do that, you can release some energy that's negative in there. Now, I know for me, when I pray and I'm talking, you have to get to a point in yourself and in your relationship with God and in this time to push through the prayer time. You know, okay, we think of prayer, a lot of us say grace. God, thank you for the food. It nourished and strengthened my body, for Christ's sake, amen. Okay, that's what we say, and it's quick, let's get to the food. So we've got to move past that grace type prayer and be able to press in a little bit longer. Because when you press in a little bit longer, that's when you can heal through the prayer. You can get to a place where you are talking to God, you're communicating with God, you're praying with God, and you're in the spirit, you're in that space with him, you're one with him. Okay, you become one with him, and you begin to feel his presence around you. Now you can, the way I know is that I always have this release, right? And I know we've talked about how when we're in these toxic relationships, we often go back because we get that release, that feel good, that serotonin drip is coming down, so it keeps you stuck in the cycle. But when you go to God in prayer as a form of self-care and journaling and getting out this energy, and tears begin to fall, you are releasing what's inside of you to God, and you're giving it to him. You're saying, God, this belongs to you. This burden I'm carrying, this thing that's tormenting me, this pain that I'm in, I'm turning it over to you, and you're getting it out of you, and you're letting him handle it, okay? Because he cares for you. It says in the Bible, no one can pluck you out of his hand. So you give that stuff to him, let him take care of it, and let him heal you from the inside. But you have to start praying. Well, let me say, you don't have to. Okay, remember, this challenge is ideas you can try. So let me stop there, because as your life coach, I can never tell you what to do. I can never tell you what decisions to make. I can share my experience with you and how it's helped me, and then you make a decision if it's right for you. And you talk through. And that's why journaling and prayer is good, because you're writing it down, or you're praying out loud, you're talking it through. You're talking through what happened to you, your experience, your life, and you're getting it out, and then you're turning it over to God and letting him handle it, because nothing is too hard for him, nothing is too big for him, and there's nothing under the sun that he hasn't dealt with or handled. He is more than capable. Okay, remember, he is from outside of time, and he spoke the world into existence. He was here before anything was here. Now, you may not believe that, and that's okay. Stay with me. The whole point I'm trying to get at is open your mouth and say something, and let things begin to hear yourself talk. The more you hear yourself and your story, and you can release it and turn it to God, your healing begins to take place. And then also, as you mature in your prayer time and in your relationship with the Lord, you will begin to speak in your heavenly language. You do have one. It's inside of you, okay? You do have one, and it's a beautiful thing. I know it took a while for mine to come on through, but I'm so thankful when that good word comes through, because I know that I'm talking directly to God. Remember, God, I'm talking directly to God, and I'm connecting with him. Okay, there's that. This is belong. Okay, you're belonging. You're close in your heart. So we must break through that wall and learn to open our mouths and communicate with our Heavenly Father. A lot of us had fathers that were absent, perhaps, that weren't attentive, that did things that were inappropriate, okay, and that they hurt us. But we have the one that we can go to and call on him, and he will set you free. It's through the Word of God, reading it, hearing it, sharing with him, communicating with him, expressing yourself to the one who knows everything in your heart anyway. He already knows what's in your heart. He already knows what you're going to say before you say it, but he wants you to come to him willingly and talk it out and share. And I think that's what's good about coaching, is because you're able to have someone who will just listen. Okay, if they're a good coach and if they're learning, they'll get there too. Because oftentimes as coaches, we want to jump in and save because we come from a nurturing type of background and a helping background, and most likely a codependent background. I did, but I can't speak for all coaches. But good coaches will listen to you, process your life, and talk through what has troubled you, okay? And hopefully lead you to the rock that is higher than I. This is rock. Lead you to the rock. Get you up that mountain. Oh, my battery's going to die. I hope I didn't lose you. Okay. Battery's going to die here. So I want you to begin if you are willing, and only if you are willing, because see, these things have to come because you want it for yourself, not because I'm saying if you pray, things will change. The change will come. The change will come. It really will. I think about my grandmother and how I didn't see her many times, but the times that I did, there was this spirit connection. She had 13 children. My dad was the oldest because the oldest child passed on. So 13 kids, but my dad was 12, the oldest of 12 living. And she just amazed me. She really never had to say anything, but something was different. My heart's even starting to race a little bit because I think about how wonderful she was, and the times that I did have with her. Okay, so I went to Georgia to visit my grandma when I was in college. I was a freshman in college, and I went from Hampton, Virginia to Jessup, Georgia, and I spent time with her. And I remember she was peeling shrimp. She was deveining shrimp one at a time, the little gray thing in there. I said, Grandma, what are you doing? I mean, my goodness, I've never seen this. And she was just there, just peaceful and just content, just like in a groove. And she was talking to me, and I was just listening. And I remember my uncle, he's the youngest of the 12 children, okay, the 13 children. So we're more close in age, and we were going to go out, go out. And I remember not wanting to go out with my Uncle Paul. I wanted to sit at my grandma's feet. There was something about her. And now I know it was that spirit, that God's spirit was all over my grandma, all over. And this is mother, so this is grandma, sign for grandma. It was all over my grandma. And I didn't want to go out, to the club, right? I just wanted to sit at my grandma's feet and listen. But she's like, no, baby, you go on out. I'll be right here when you come back. And, so she never what is it? She never would force anything on you or make you do anything you didn't want to do, but she would encourage you along. I don't know. I just have that memory. But my point is, I didn't want to leave her feet. So the prayer, the self-care and the prayer is like sitting with Jesus, like getting that spirit, that time together with the Holy One. So I encourage that for you on this healing journey, is to spend some time talking to God. If saying the word prayer is too hard for you, just communicate. Just talk out loud, just speak. and begin to set yourself free and loosen up some of that turmoil, that pain that's in there, and let it out. Okay. You can go on My Mentor Life and find me, and not just me, but there's other coaches on there. I know Coach Harut is on there. She's a transformational coach too, and mindset. Okay, find someone. Keep listening to these videos. I'll do my best to keep making them for you, but you begin to decide that you wanna begin to express what's going on inside of you, and so you can get out of that emotional state, all right, and reactionary state, but come into a place of peace and calm. Hold on a second. Yes, Bren? Oh, my daughter just came in. Hold on. Okay, can you? Okay, you'll just wait. Okay, she's gonna just wait. She had a half day of school today. We've got one more day of school here where we are. All right, so yeah, what was I saying? My goodness. Yeah, these children, they'll throw you right off track. But just begin to open your mouth and share, or journal and share, because going back to the video, Tomorrow Belongs to God, that TD Jake that I heard today, and he's saying, just you don't have to worry about tomorrow. You know, you can't be fearful and peaceful at the same time. You can't have love and fear. Worrying is not of God. So just rest in today, because tomorrow belongs to him, and work through what you can today, and trust that he's got you in the palm of his hand, like the word says he does, because he cannot lie. So that is the idea for today. Challenge yourself to journal if you're not a journaler, or prayer if you're not a prayer. If you are a journaler, journaling person, or a prayer person, kick it up a notch. You know, if you're journaling for 5 minutes, journal for 10 and see what comes out. If you pray for 10, pray for 20. See if you can do it. Or if you pray for 5, pray for 8. You know, just kick it up a notch, you know, a little bit. And watch what God will do. It will amaze you. I'm not saying anything that I haven't done. You know, that's what it's about. Taking my life and sharing my experiences with you to help you heal on this journey. It can be a beautiful journey, and don't get mad at the journey. Embrace the journey, and just be able to watch your growth and enjoy the process of healing and becoming who you really are. All right. So yes, that's what I had to say today. That is my self-care idea, and I hope you are receiving it and trusting that all things work to good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. And because you're on this channel, he's calling you. He's calling you. He's calling you. And if you made it to the end, that means you listened. So good job. Thumbs up. All right, you guys, what am I going to say? True healing begins with self-love, because God is love and he lives on the inside of you. So love you, and we will talk soon. All right, bye.